Hi, David. Thank you so much for coming to our show. I really appreciate it. So how have you been doing today?
I'm fine, Russell. It's nice to have me. I really appreciate this time.
Yeah, the honor is mine. I really appreciate it, like coming to the show. I know you all the way from Nigeria, and we always are curious, from different part of the world, different entrepreneur, coaches, and consultant, how they think about like personal development side of it, and like improving yourself. So I'm always curious, and
Yeah.
obviously my audience will be curious to know, in your area, your country, how people think about personal development and improving people's life. So, like before you become a life coach, what do you used to do, and how you get started with the life coaching?
Well, like I told you earlier on, during our one-on-one session,
Yeah,
I used to be a banker. I used to be a banker before now. In actual fact, I was in the financial industry for about 9 years,
mm,
tilting towards my 10th year. That I had to leave banking, then start doing business for myself and start doing what I have passion for.
yeah,
But the truth is, all the while I was doing that, I was in the banking sector. I have this passion for helping people to do better and all that. So I was actually doing life coaching and business coaching on one side. It was more of a part-time thing.
yeah,
So 4 years back, when I left the banking industry, I delved into the life coaching and business coaching proper, and this is the journey so far. And if you want to look at the area of how people in Nigeria and Africa generally look at the area of personal development, I would
yeah,
say in time past,
mm,
it's been taken with levity. People don't really take cognizance of that. But looking at what is happening globally now and what the demand is in the workplace and the marketplace, I can tell you that there have been a lot of influence from the Western world, and people are getting more aware how
yeah.
they need to develop themselves personally in order to meet up with the demand in the marketplace and the workplace. So there's a lot of change of orientation in this area, and people are really, really buying into the idea.
Right, interesting. So, how long have you been a life coach for? How long have you been doing?
Um, I would say unofficially, or let me say officially, it's about 5 years now. It's about five
5 years.
years. That's when I
Yeah,
started full time. But all this while that I was working, I was doing it on the part time. I have friends that I hang out with. I've actually picked a mentor as a life coach, or let me say like two mentors that are life coaches that they are mentoring me even while I was in the banking sector.
yeah, interesting. So, did you find it difficult to working with their clients and everything on the personal development side, life coaching? Because in Nigeria, it could be like a different compared to US and UK, because US and UK is like a normal thing, like hiring a coach, life coach. But how about in your area, in your country? Like, if are people like open-minded to it, or like they have no clue what they're doing, or do you have to explain to them?
Yeah, the truth is, as a life coach in this part of the world, you're more doing a lot of work together.
Mm,
It's a bit more tedious because it's a different ball game, and because the people, most of the people that you see, you have to pilot them through those processes, and you have to coach them through those processes, and let them catch up with what is actually in demand, or what they are supposed to do. People really
yeah,
find it difficult, but the place of patience is very, very important here. You have to be patient in order to let them scale through those processes, meeting deadlines. Sometimes you see guys that they work themselves a little bit, and it should be easy for you to coach them through. But many times you see people that they carry what we call the African mentality, which we are trying to eradicate, especially those of us in this side of the industry. There's what we call African time. African time is a laid back mindset that makes you like 1 hour behind schedule, 2 hours behind schedule, and they call it African time. So those are the kind of orientation that people bring to work, people bring to their businesses, people bring to their personal life, get work so slow down. So as a life coach, you have an assignment of first deorientating, or let me say, trying to undo that kind of sabotaging or orientation, and then you begin now to coach them through the proper series.
Right. That's a great way of looking at it. So yeah, today we chose the topic which you wanted to talk about, which is personal accountability, and also like a compass and guide for 2021. So can you explain a little bit about that? Like what do you mean by personal accountability and guide and compass?
Okay. First, I'm going to give like a definition, not a Wikipedia definition or a generic definition of the word accountability. Then we tend to look at it as a gauge or a compass towards our goals for 2021. Now, looking at the word accountability basically is a measurement or a gauge for achievements. Generally, accountability basically is a measurement or a gauge for achievements. Generally, and so now let's look at the word, the compass and the gauge that is attached to that topic of discussion. Now, what do we use a compass for? A compass is basically a tool that is used for vision, to see far and all that. Now, what do we use a gauge for? A gauge is basically a tool for measurements. I want to gauge my tire of my vehicle. I want to know how much hair it's in the tire and all that. You use a gauge and the likes. So a gauge is more of that. So when we look at personal accountability in this context for our goals for 2021, the sacrosanct words, the two sacrosanct words that we need to look at that topic of discussion, apart from personal accountability, and that's the word compass and the word gauge that I was trying to explain now. Now we pick it first from the word compass. So we want to look at, in a longer view, in a panoramic view, what are the visions that has been set for the year 2021. Then also, when you look at it from that panoramic view, you're also now looking at the measurement. I want to measure how much I have done against my goal, against what I've set for the year 2021. How much have I done? How much have I been able to do that? And by the time you are able to analyze that properly, I'm telling you, that's what we call personal accountability. Once you're able to nip it on the board, okay, at January 1st, 2021, or some of us that we tend to do that close or at the end of the previous year, say December 31st, December 30, you brought out your diary or you brought out your PC and you have a place you write down what are your goals for the next year. So now that's the compass. Now we're going to check it vis-a-vis what is your achievement for the year so far, so that you are able to know how well you've done. I've done 50% of my goals, I've done 60% of my goal. Then we're looking at it, how long have we spent in the year so far? And then we're able to know how well you've done. That's basically what we're looking at.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Like so you tell your clients to write down everything, or like is in a mentally works?
Most times, you know, the truth is this: if you actually want to achieve anything, if you don't write it down, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. There's this general saying that says the strongest brain or the sharpest brain, it is still not as smart as the faintest ink. So the conception is in the head first. Now you have it in your head. Now you have to put pen to paper for you to be able to run with it. You have to write the vision down, write the goals down. And then apart from just putting it down, when you're setting these goals, it is also very paramount that you put milestone achievement against them. Milestone in the sense that most times it has to be quarterly. What I advise my clients is, now you've got a goal. I got 10 paramount goals for the year 2021. You have to break it out into milestone. If you just write it down, by December 31st, you want to measure how much you've done. I'm telling you, at the end of the day, you might just be scoring 10%, 15%, or even less. Or it's even possible you are not able to achieve a lot at all out of the goal. So now you have it written down. Haven't written it down. You're not going to say goals 1 to 3. I'm giving it to first quarter. Goals 4 to 6. I'm giving it to second quarter. Then goals 7 to 8. I'm giving it to the third quarter. Then maybe a goal to the last quarter. Or most times, people that really want to walk like Napoleon, they're going to put all of the goals in the first three quarters of the year. So the last year is going to be, the last quarter rather of the year is going to be more of reviewing what they've put down, and then checking where are the loopholes, where are the things, where are the areas I need to up my game. And once you do that, you can have pretty time for vacation and a reset for the coming year.
Yeah, totally agree. So in terms of like the goal setting and mapping it out, so do you tell your clients or whoever you work with, is there like they go after the whole year plan, or chunk it down like a weekly, daily goal to small steps in order to achieve that?
Yeah, like I was saying before, apart from the fact that you break down your goals into milestone achievement, that could be quarterly. Great achievements are not seen in events, are not seen in occasions, are not seen in a particular occurrence. Great achievements are seen in our daily activities. So if you want to show me a great achiever, is mindful of his daily activities. Myself, for example, what I want to do for today, and that's the same parameter I recommend for my clients and people I work with. Myself, for example, every day I have a to-do list. Every day you must have a to-do list, and you enumerate in order of preference. You write it down, okay, by this, I want to do this. And you also put a timeline to it. You have to put a deadline. So great achievement, it is not just I want to win a big ticket contract and I want to do this, or there's this thing I want to help myself emotionally, and then you do. Now, in what way are you trying to do that? It boils down to your daily activities. So most times what I advise them, I strongly advise, is that you have your to-do list on daily basis, and you ensure that the content of that, what formulates that, the nitty-gritty of how you're going to you achieve your goals, your big goal eventually. So you start from your daily activities, and then you score yourself on weekly activities. That's what culminates into your monthly activities, and the monthly activities, bringing 3 months together, is what give you that milestone achievement that I said, quarterly achievement.
Yeah, totally agree. So like in terms of like you said, like there is a to-do list for yourself. Like, do you have like lots of things, or you focus like 2 or 3 major things and work on simplifying it? Or do you recommend to people have like 20 things to do in the same day?
Yeah, the truth is, if you really want to achieve a lot, you have to simplify your goals. You have to simplify your goals, and you also need to focus on your strengths. Anybody that is trying to do a personal accountability or personal development, you're trying to be accountable for yourself in order for you to know how you're progressing in your goals and your achievement generally. You should be able to do a SWOT analysis of yourself. The SWOT analysis of yourself is what will determine what you're going to focus on per time. Okay, I know I'm a good orator and I'm in the coaching business. It's part of the skills that I need to do every now and then. Then I know it's my strength. So do I still need to pick up a course in that area in order to up my game and be able to relate to my clients better? And another area is, okay, maybe I'm trying to get some traction from French speaking clients. Do I need to learn French or something? So the first thing is, before you break down your goals, you need to do a SWOT analysis of yourself. We all know that we do that in the business space, but it's also applicable to individual. And that's talking about your strengths, your weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats around. So I would like those two examples. I said, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Hello? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I said, I haven't done your SWOT analysis. It is important that you pull your weight on your strengths, and that's what will form the basis of the little things you are going to focus on. Because they say you can't be jack of all trade. You have to focus on the most important things and those things that are your strengths, and then you pull your weight on them. When you focus on them, in actual fact, you will see that having pulled the weight on your strength, it's going to outshine and overweigh those areas of weaknesses, and then you at the end of the day, you see that you're achieving a lot.
Yeah. So I know we talked about how to go after them goals and things like that. So when we actually evaluating, let's say we have a goal for the year, losing a 10 extra kg of your body fat, and we only achieve to do half of that, 50% of it, 5 kg. So someone's didn't achieve that goal. So how are you gonna tell the person and keep them motivated in terms of the achieving goal?
Well, there is a lot to say in that space. And one of the ways
that can be related to in a business wise as well, X amount of revenue they wanted to achieve, and they didn't.
Now there is a model I most time recommend for people, especially when you're starting out or when you tend to do some kind of personal assessment, and then you're not where you want to be, or you're not here where you've not been able to achieve what you wanted to achieve. Now, I call it the ERRC grade. The ERRC grade, is actually so simple. I have it in a chart. It's actually one of my write-ups. I have it in the chart, and it's like a box. Now, in the box, you draw a cross. Then you put all of those abbreviations in each of the column. The first E stands for eliminate. The second E stands for, sorry, the next one is R. It stands for raise. Then we have reduce, then create. ERRC grid. Now eliminate, raise, reduce, and create. So now, what are we trying to say? You have measured yourself, and then you can see that you are not able to achieve what you wanted to achieve. So the first one is eliminate. What are those things that you are doing that stopped you, that seems like impediment for you to achieve that? Now, so now what we're doing now is you are in the X-ray room where you consult a doctor. You're trying to X-ray yourself. What are the impediments that stopped you from achieving those things? So that's the function of ERRC grade. So eliminate. So those things, what are those things I need to eliminate? For a typical example, like you said, I want to lose some weight. Then you look at it. Does it mean that I was supposed to reduce the level of my cholesterol and I still take some junks? And those are the things, or does it mean that I eat late? I'm supposed to do that stretch for 3 months. I then check my weight, but I'm unable to do that. Then you know that these are the things, these are the habits, these are the attitude, these are the things I need to eliminate. That stands for he. Now, R, the first R is raise. Now, you look at it like the SWOT analysis we talked about now. Now, you have analyzed yourself and the achievements so far. What are the things that I did well that got me the 50%? I actually wanted to lose 70 kg, but I've been able to lose 50 kg out of the 70 kg that was my goal for the year. Yeah. So in that space, now you look at it and you analyze it properly. What are the things that I did that got me that 50%, even though it's not a pass mark or it's not 100% of what I wanted to do? Now, what are the things that I did well that got me that 50%? Those are the things you need to increase. Those are the things you need to focus your strength more. Those are the things you need to pull more weight on. So that's raise. Now, the second R is, I call it reduce. Now, this one is that you're not totally eliminating and you're not raising them. Now, that's the area of balance. I do this, but I understand that sometimes I'm excessive about it. I pull it beyond the weight. So it might be an habit, it might be attitudinal, it could be anything. Now, or it could be you need to strike a balance in the skill. So in that area, you know that you need to reduce that. I'm kind of being excessive in this area, so you reduce that. Now, in the area of the last part of that quadrant is create. The C stands for create. So now, you haven't analyzed all that. We live in a world that is very, very innovative. So you have to look at it. What new thing do I need to bring to the game? Yeah. What new thing do I need to bring to the game? I've been doing it in a particular way, and then I'm not able to achieve 100% of my goal. Now, I need to bring something new. The create area talks about creativity. It talks about innovation. It talks about invention, bringing something new to the game. It might not be totally unprecedented. It might just be tweaking what you do a little bit. And then that's the creative part of it. And once you do that, that can be the game changer. But it takes a personal assessment. It takes personal accountability. It takes you do a personal SWOT analysis for you to know what can I bring to the game to make the game change totally, and for me to be able to achieve that game. So once clients or people are able to x-ray themselves with this grid, it goes a long way for them to know what are the areas they need to work on for them to be able to achieve that. And that it on itself, having done that, is going to form a lot of motivation for them to achieve their goals, because already they will know that I'm not that poor. I'm not that doing bad. I just need to up my games in my area of strength, and then I'll be able to achieve it.
Yeah, that's great. So I have like another question, which is like, sometime as an entrepreneur, we try to go for like a shiny object. So if someone's doing really well, could be friends or family in a real estate business, and we want to go in the real estate business, but probably I want to do like a marketing space, or I want to do like in a restaurant business. So we tend to working on like multiple different things. So in order to achieve, can we chase multiple things, or like a focus on a one and be good at it? What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, the truth is there's no one-way answer to this. There's no one-way answer to this. Now, I'm going to answer in a dual way. The first answer is this. It boils down to how gifted you are, or how well you have been able to develop your skills. Now, the truth is, we're gifted in different ways, and our abilities and capabilities differ from one another. So now, and our understanding of our potentials also matters, because in the area of potentials, there's an area of discovery, there's an area of development, and there's an area of deploying the potentials. Now, there are some people that they're so much gifted that, but they've not been able to develop or discover those potentials very well. Now, it's going to be very, very difficult. Now, where am I going? Some people are multi-talented and can multitask, but still at that, you need to know where to draw the line and to cut the excesses. The truth is this: as an entrepreneur or somebody that wants to be financially independent, it's recommended financially that you need to have at least 4 streams of income. So if you want to have 4 streams of income, that means you need to multitask. You really, really need to multitask. Yes, if you just want to be comfortable, pay your bills and all that, but if you really, really want to be...
gone.
Okay, that's fine. So I said it's recommended that for you to be financially free, you need to have at least 4 streams of income. So definitely, if you want to be independent, financially independent, you need to multitask. You need to multitask. But the truth is, you also need to know where to draw the line. You also need to know where to cut the excesses. So that's a simple truth. So some of us that have not been able to discover myself to multitask a lot like some other persons, I may need to focus on that thing that I'm doing at the moment until I master that, then I am able to diversify. Okay, if you want to take a practical example, if you pick a business that is a conglomerate, you will understand that there is no business that is a conglomerate all over the universe that started as a conglomerate initially. The most have started as a little business, and they started building it over time. They started focusing on some other products, some other industry that they can invest on, and then they start the diversification. The same thing is applicable to individuals. So it's important that you master a thing, and then you can look at other giftings, other skills that you have, and then you explore. But still at that, you must not be jack of all trades. You need to know where to cut the excesses. You need to know where to draw the line when you know that it's making you to lose focus of some of the things you're doing. So that's why I said it depends on your level of discovery of your potentials, discovery and exploring that potentials and deploying that potentials to your workplace or to your business place or your personal development. So that will determine your level that you can multitask. That's just it.
Thank you for your answer. So like I know we are in a last quarter of this year. So those who didn't hit their goal or didn't have it planned out, is it still they got time for hitting a goal and mapping out for this year?
The truth is, there's nothing impossible for a willing mind. Everything starts from the mind. If you put your mind to it, it is still very, very possible. And the only thing is you have to be practical. You don't just win, but the winning starts from your mentality. It starts from the mind. But the truth is, beyond the mind, you need to draw on paper what are the means to execute this plan and these goals. Now, I have it in my mind. The first thing is you first need to have that winning mentality. For everybody, if you ask, in Mike Tyson, I won those rounds of belts that I won when he was active in boxing. If you ask anybody, if you ask C. Ronaldo, I did all those magic goals. If you ask Lionel Messi, I did those magic goals and all that, and he's able to take all of the accolades and all of the trophies. The first thing starts from a winning mind. It starts from a winning mind. So it doesn't matter the timeline. You just need to set the deadline yourself. You are the architect of your life, and you are the architect of your goals. You are the architect of your achievement. Nobody scores you better than yourself. So the first thing is you need to have that winning mind. When you have that winning mindset, If you don't win in your mindset, you can never win physically or basically in the workplace or in the business place. So I've not seen a defeated person in the mindset and now won in the physical. You can never handle the trophy. You can never breast that tape if you have not breasted it in your mindset. You must have imagined it. You must have fantasized it. And the next thing, have one in your mind. Now you need to put pen to paper. What are the practical ways to do this? Okay, I set this goal to do this in the first 3 quarters, and I've not been able to do it. Now, I have just a quarter to do it. Then you have to put pen to paper. What are the things I need to double? What are the things I need to triple? What are the things I need to quadruple? What are the things I need to reinforce more? So now, if you do that, but the most important thing that I stress for people, don't have a giving up mentality. Once you have that giving up mentality, there's no way your life coach will be able to help you. You need to know that. And, you know, at this point, it's like a survival race. It's like a survival race. Now, I'm going to do a simple example right now. If I've ever seen anybody that is in a state of emergency but can still see and is on the wheelchair or in a stretcher and they are wheeling the person into the theater, you will see the paramedical people or the medical personnel, you see them talking to the person to ensure that the person is alive. They tell them, stay alive, stay with us. This as the person is being wheeled into the theater. The same thing is in the case when you are in the last quarter and then you want to get it done. You have to stay alive. You have to have that winning mentality so that you are able to do that. Once you have that mindset settled in you, then you have to put pen to paper and then look at the things you need to double. It's not that you're actually going to do a magic. You understand? It's just that you and a good tool that you can use is that ERRC model that I recommended. Once you extract yourself with that, you know what to double, you know what the game changer you need to bring on board, and then you are able to execute and able to achieve that. But if you are defeated in your mindset, no matter the model that is recommended to you, you will not be able to get it done. That's just it.
Yeah, definitely. So in terms of like when you work with your clients, when they go through like a planning and process, how long it takes for them to like go and hit the goal? Like, do they achieve it every quarterly, or do you still they fall behind on them? And how do you motivate them to keep moving forward even though they don't achieve it?
The truth is this. For any serious-minded person that sets a goal, people that are lackadaisical about their achievement and their life don't set goals. Another set of people, there are basically 3 categories of people. The first set is people that don't set goals anyhow. They live their life and they do their business. They do whatever they do the way it comes. So whatever comes, those are the people that adopt what will be. And it's actually a wrong phrase. It's a phrase that is not good for life coaching. It's a phrase that anybody with a progressive mindset should not adopt. That's the first category of people. Now, the second category of people are people that set goals, but they lag behind in reaching the deadlines. And the third category of people are people that they set the goals, they are mindful of the deadlines, and they achieve it. Now, whichever way, whoever you are, you're going to fall into one of these categories. Now, so in case you fall into the second category, you are able to set the goal, but you are not able to achieve it. Now, number one thing I need to understand, and I also need to make you understand, is that for you to set that goals, you have a progressive mind. That's the first thing, because we have a lot of people that they just live the day the way it comes, they live the year the way it comes, they just feel. In actual fact, under such condition, if you fall into that category, external forces and people will determine your lots. You don't determine your lot, because the forces that governs your achievements are internal. It depends on you. So people that fall into that first category, they are people that don't allow their own internal forces and skills to help whatever they want to achieve. External forces determines their lot, determines how they run their life. Now, if you fall in that first category, the first motivation I'm going to give you is that it means that you're focused. It means that there's something you want to do. It means you have a panoramic view of your life. That's why you do that. Yes, there was some kind of laxity at one point or the other, but you just need to know that you don't have that self-sabotaging attitude, because once you have that self-sabotaging attitude, you are not able to achieve anything. It demoralizes you. So the first thing is, I'm going to tell you, you've done well, even though you don't do well, just like a dad would do to a child that your score is not too bad, with a pat on the back, you can do better, you can do better. So that's just the way we do that at this point. So now, the best thing you do for them is first to inspire them that you have achieved this, but you can achieve more. You achieve this, you just need to up your game. You pat their back. And all of the models that you'll be deploying is just to inspire them to do more, and then to be able to achieve it.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's powerful. So like we are end of the year, like 2021, and I know like different parts of the world had a lockdown, still had the lockdown, first quarter of it. And not many people able to do whatever they needed to do because of the distraction and everything. But hopefully in 2020, we can see everything go back to normal, like how it used to be in 2019, and everyone can go back on a track. So those who wants to get fresh start and new goal, I know a lot of people probably lost job or business wasn't that well during the pandemic, depending on the industry. So those who wants to achieve more and go and get it done in next year, 2022, how they can get started, and those could be like our following, like those are our listeners on the podcast. So how they map out and plan and go achieve down in 2021, what would be your simplified plan?
Okay, that's fine. That's a brilliant one. Now I'm going to start with trying to analyze an adage, a proverb in my mother tongue. Now, the simple adage is that if you know that your eye socket is very deep in, if you are somebody that you see that your eye socket is very deep inside, and you lose your mother, once you are coming home to mourn, you start your crying from very far away down the streets. Now I'm going to explain the meaning of that. Now let me say that again. Your eye socket as a person is somebody that you have a deep, kind of deep eye socket. So, you know, the meaning of that is you are weeping. It will take a long time for the tears to roll down your cheeks. So it is better, so people will know that you lost your mom and it's so dear to you, and then you're showing that mournful or that mournful attitude. So it's better you start crying from the beginning of the street, so that by the time you get there, people will see that, oh, this person really is mourning the mom. Now, the whole essence of that proverb, or the meaning of it, is this: if you know you have a lot of distance to cover, it is better you start early. You have to be a early starter. Now, when I was in the bank, there is this theory that I always tend to walk through my clients now that I'm in the coaching business. Now, the truth is, most banks or most corporate offices, they have settled their goals for the next year in the last quarter. Now, to fact, September, we're drawing the curtain for the current year. Even though you're still going to work more, some of the work or the businesses you're still going to bring in the last quarter is still going to count in your appraisal. But the truth is, next year, they're already having the picture of next year in mind from the last quarter of the current year. So for anybody looking towards great achievements next year, you need to start now. you have to be a early starter. And like we said, discussed earlier on, the first thing is you need to start having those mental goals, and then you need to start putting them on paper. You need to start enumerating, and then start looking at the strategies in order to achieve them. Start looking at the skills you need to up, start looking at the things you need to drop. So you have to be a early starter. Don't wait until we hit 2022 before you start your planning. It's okay you adopt, yes, it's your life, but you need to walk your life as if it's a corporate entity. You need to walk your life as if you're working with a lot of people. How is it that all of those corporate organizations, they are able to achieve a lot? It's because of models like this that they adopt. So if you adopt that for your personal life, you see that you are able to achieve it, achieve a lot. So you start preparing from this first quarter. Now that's point number one. Point number two is this. There is a law that I recommend to people that is therapeutic. It's a therapy you need to adopt. Now, number one law is what I call failing forward. Now, sometimes, excuse me. Now, sometimes the failure, you're not responsible for it. It's just like what happened in the pandemic. There are external forces. A lot of people are incapacitated, and then by function of the external forces that happen to them, they are not able to achieve their goals. They're not able to do that. Some people even lost their job. Some people were best hand in their place of work, but because of the pandemic, the organization needs to adopt a lot of remote services and digital services. And as a function of that, they're going to trim down the human capital, so they lost their job. And then, so if you don't adopt that philosophy of failing forward, you will not forgive yourself. And then those things are going to serve as self-sabotaging impediments for you in achieving those goals. Even though in your head, you have those goals written out, you have those things written out, you have those models you want to do, but those things will serve as limiting forces for you in achieving them if you don't carry the mindset of failing forward and then you don't forgive yourself. Some of them, they have grievances against their boss, they have grievances against people, some of them have grievances against their government, especially in Africa and this part of the world. You know, some people are still yet to forgive their government. They say they're not doing well, leadership is not doing well. The truth is that you are in control of your life. External forces are not in control of your life. Yes, those things that they're supposed to do, they have to do, they're supposed to do. But if they don't do it, you have your life to live, you have your goals to achieve. So you don't live your life based on those external forces. So number one thing is carry that failing forward mindset. Forgive people around you that you think they are responsible for the failures. Forgive yourself. Some people look at it, I made this blunder. Man, it's a blunder, and then they don't tend to forgive themselves. Now, you might tend to keep having that kind of self-sabotaging attitude that will be an impediment towards your goal because you don't forgive yourself, and the error keeps replaying in your head. You need to delete that error in your head and know that you can still achieve it, and then you get on with your work. So important.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you for sharing the plan to execute for our audience. I really appreciate it. So those who wants to work with you, David, like how they can reach out to you? Do you have any website or social media? Where can they find
social
it?
media. Let me call out my social media. Our website is currently under reconstruction. I'm in touch with my IT guy, but on my social media, they can have David on my Instagram handle. They can send me a DM, David Olayiwola. It's my handle. Maybe I should spell it DAVID for David. Then my surname is OLAYIWOLA. Let me take that again. OLAYIWOLA. That's my surname. So that's my Instagram handle. And they can also connect me on Facebook. My Facebook handle is David Oladele Olayiwola. That one has got my middle name. And let me also spell it. David is sacrosanct, David. Then the middle name is Oladele. Okay. So let me repeat my handles again. My Instagram handle. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me take my Instagram handle again. My Instagram handle is David Olayiwola. So David, that's sacrosanct, David. Then my surname is spelled Olayiwola. That's my Instagram handle, David Olayiwola. You can send me a DM, we'll get to work together. Then my Facebook, you can also send me a DM on my Facebook. My handle on that has got my middle name there, and that's David Oladele Olayiwola. David is constant. The middle name is Oladele. That's Oladele. Then my surname, like we have for the other one, Olayiwola. That's my surname. So you can send me a DM. Let's see how we can improve together and work together.
All right, guys, check out David on their social media if you want to work with him. So David, thank you so much for taking the time out. I really appreciate it. You shared your knowledge with our audience. I really appreciate that for coming to the show. So we're going to wrap this show today in here. So thank you so much for coming.
I really thank you for this privilege of sharing with your people. And I look forward to some other time, and even some other time working with you in my own space too.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, David. So thank you guys for listening to our show. So it's a wrap. So we're going to talk to you in the next episode. So stay safe, stay healthy. I'll talk to you in the next episode.